Hello there guys, welcome back to Wentworth Live and welcome to the next Prisoner special. In this video I am going to be reviewing Prisoner Cell Block H episode 18, The Man in the Red Car. Now this episode takes a seriously dark turn when we are introduced to a schoolgirl called Sarah Roberts who is walking home from school, and this man in the red car pulls over and starts talking to her. This man says that his name is Jack Harris or Jack Harrison, and that he is a friend of Sarah's dad, and that he makes out that he's going to be going out to dinner with them all later on that evening. And he asks her if she would like a lift home in his car. Now at first she says no, it's okay, but then he says that it will save her the walk home and walking in the rain, and she ends up saying okay, and she jumps in the car. Now it's very easy to turn around and say you silly girl, but to be fair, this guy seems genuine and he knew her name, he introduced himself, and as silly as I know it is, the guy did come across as totally genuine. Of course, this leads on to a horrific storyline where this man has driven Sarah out into a secluded area and he rapes her. Now the rape happens off screen, but we do see the guy driving off in his red car, and we then see Sarah appearing from the bushes looking very upset and distraught. We then meet Sarah's mum, Catherine Roberts, and Sarah's dad, Ken Roberts. Now, Catherine, she starts to panic when Sarah doesn't come home from school and is starting to get late, and she gets Ken to ring the police, but then she walks in just at the nick of time. Now, at first, Sarah tells them that she just basically fell over. She went back to a friend's house to get cleaned up. She didn't realize how late it was. But later on in the episode, Sarah does break down and she tells her mum what the man in the red car did to her. We then get to see how difficult these things can be to prove in court, which of course is disgusting. However, it is a very important story to tell. Sarah ended up having a shower when she first got home after the attack, and Catherine, her mum, washed her school uniform as she didn't know what had happened to her daughter at that point. So the police basically tell them that it's going to be very difficult trying to find this man and then to also prove it in court, because Sarah had the shower and then the mum washed the clothes, and it's absolutely awful what happens to Sarah and watching the impact that this has on her and her family. But Catherine is determined that this man will be found and he will be punished. This storyline had me gripped as soon as the episode began, as I had completely forgotten about this storyline in Prisoner. Moving over to Barbara Davidson, who causes mayhem in this episode. So Barbara is working with Vera. Vera basically wants to punish Bea and Monica for what they did to her, and Barbara has offered to help. However, Barbara ends up double-crossing Vera when Vera lets Barbara ring a contact to bring in a parcel, and Vera doesn't end up searching this parcel thoroughly because the plan is that Barbara is going to plant something or some contraband from that parcel into Monica's cell, and then Vera, she will set up a cell search and find the stuff, which of course she does. But I don't think Vera was expecting drugs to be found in Monica's cell. Monica is sent to solitary and the women are all shocked. Erica then steps up security in order to try and find out how the drugs, got into the prison. And I think this has Vera a little bit worried. When Vera and Barbara talk in the yard, Vera asks Barbara where the hell is the rest of the drugs, because the doll in the parcel would have held way more than what was actually found in Monica's cell. And this is when Barbara decides to blackmail Vera, telling her that she will lose her job and maybe worse if Auntie Erica finds out that Vera let the drugs in, and Vera ends up calling Barbara a bitch. I actually loved how Barbara had Vera on the ropes in this episode, and she even tells Vera that she wants a portable coloured TV in her cell, otherwise she's going to tell Auntie Erica everything. Oof, Barbara is definitely playing a dangerous game here. I mean, all Vera has to do is let it slip to Bea that Barbara is in for drugs, and then Bea will work out that it was Barbara who set up Monica, so I don't think Barbara is going to have Vera on the ropes for too long. Steve Wilson is actually starting to grow on me as a character at the moment. He decided in the last episode that he will take on Lynn Warner's case, and in this episode he goes to see Lynn in the hospital where she is still recovering, and he has a chat with her, a really nice chat, and he goes through everything. He then starts to give Lynn a little bit of hope, which was actually really nice to see. I think after Steve started learning the whole story about Karen Travis recently in previous episodes, and after learning that Lynn tried to kill herself, he has now seemed to have developed into a little bit more of a nicer human. He doesn't come across as obnoxious as he did in his first couple of episodes, so I'm liking the turnaround of his character. Doreen and Frankie are still on the run, but of course they are no longer staying with Miss McBride. So, with no money and no roof over their heads, what are they going to do? Well, Doreen decides that she's going to try and get a job as a factory packer, and Frankie waits for Doreen on a park bench. Now, when Doreen comes back 4 hours later, she tells Frankie that they gave her a trial run, but she didn't get the job because she ended up eating some of the fruit that she was packing. I love it. I absolutely love Doreen. It's probably something that I would get fired for. Doreen tells Frankie that she has found them both a place to stay in this man's house. Now, Doreen pretends that this guy is an old friend from way back, but Frankie can tell when Doreen is lying, and Doreen actually only met this man today, and she obviously ended up sleeping with him in exchange for her and Frankie to stay at his. So it's very, very sad to see this. I mean, Doreen says that she's tired of running and she just wants to stop for a couple of days. Frankie, of course, isn't happy about it because Frankie really, really cares for Doreen and doesn't like the idea of a strange guy having his way with her, because Doreen is that type of character that you really want to look after, and she deserves better. So a lot of things are happening. This was a brilliant episode from start to finish. I can't believe that I actually forgot about this Sarah Roberts storyline, and bear in mind, this was happening in 1979, and this is a really dark, hard-hitting storyline that Prisoner covered. Even watching this episode today, I was shocked at this storyline. It's mental how 1 minute a Prisoner episode can be full of comedy and sometimes feel a little bit of a carry-on film in some of these earlier episodes, and then all of a sudden, bam, a shocker just hits you in the chest and the show just ends up doing a full U-turn. My favourite part of this episode has to be the moment where Barbara blackmails Vera. I think it's about time Vera has a taste of her own medicine, even if it does have to come from Princess Barbara. My least favourite moment has to be the moment where Sarah is attacked and raped. Even though it happens off screen, it's still not a very nice thing to watch. However, it is an important story to tell. Right then guys, that's all of my thoughts. Now I really want to hear some of yours. What did you guys think of this episode when you first saw it? What were your initial thoughts on the Sarah Roberts storyline? Did it take you by surprise? Did it shock you? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments box below. Okay then guys, well thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, stay safe, and I will see you all again very, very soon.